Alright, here we are to jibes. I guess I took a while talking through the transitions, so let's check out some jibes here. So I'd argue we want to have the main in a bit more. We can see we've trimmed in a bit. We're starting to get off the side stay. The upper part of the main is off the side stay, lower part's still there. I'd say let's bring that in a little more even. Just get everything off the side stay, and that way we know we really have got some side force going on as we bring that boat down to flat, right? So it's all pretty much the whole thing where the whole apparent wind we're creating. If we think of the angle, the winds may be coming from me to them, so that's the true wind, and then the apparent wind that they create, the fake wind, or not the apparent wind, the little extra bit of wind that they create is coming directly from the side, because that's how their mast is moving. And so what that does is it moves the apparent wind, which is that's the correct use of the phrase, the wind that the boat feels. It's a combination of the true wind and that extra fake wind, if we want to call it, that we created, the roll fan. That's going to move from coming straight from me to them to coming more from just off my right side to them. It's moving it forward a little bit toward the front of the boat, and so now it's not coming directly from the back, it is coming more from the side. So we want that main to be trimmed in a bit, but yeah, I would say we probably want to be in just a bit more so that we don't see that side stay through the main. But the roll and flatten, we'll say the roll and flatten was definitely quite enough. And we do often notice that the crew does not have to move as much, especially this is a little bit lighter day, all right, so not a ton of breeze, and so that the skipper coming up to the rail is often enough to flatten. Going back to the whole discussion about how what's going on with the side force, the sail is not in all the way, and so there's not as much side force that we have to counter. When we are doing the roll tack, we've got both sails all the way into the middle of the boat, and so we do need the skipper and the crew both to come up and flatten that out. But for here, often just the skipper will do. And we can definitely see there's a good bit of acceleration coming out of that jibe as well. So that roll and flatten, pretty key to a good exit for the jibe. Honestly, if we want, we can even go more roll. I know we've seen it a little deeper on some of the transitions down here. And we still got Johnny holding that main sheet thumb first. Got to get pinky first, but here we go for the jibe. All right. So same discussion. Definitely want to trim the main in more. Again, it is why we hold the loose tail of the main sheet in our tiller hand, so we can just let go of that forward line, grab the loose end with our main sheet hand, trim it in a little bit, get it off the side stay, and that way we do have the side force to allow us to roll down and then flatten. There's nothing going on there for him, right? He rolled a bit, but the boat just kind of righted itself. It had nothing pushing it over, and so he didn't have any chance to do any sort of flatten out of there. So we got the help of the roll through the turn, so that's fine. But we do want, at that point, why not get the little acceleration out? As far as the crew work on that one, that all worked fine. No roundups to worry about on that last jibe. All right, here we got Sterling and Jack coming down, and in just a second we'll probably be seeing, yeah, there we go. They're starting to move. Sterling goes for that trim in a little bit, and it's like a hand over hand, 1, 2, maybe 3 pulls almost, not full pulls, but we just want to get that main in off the side stay. Jack's getting ready to switch the jib over. Let's see how we go here. Got a little bit of a wave rocking us, a little unstable for a second. Waiting till Glennis is out of the way, pulling the main sheet over, come up, boom, down, and there. That was a good exit out of that jibe. We got a good roll, we got a good flatten. Crew had to come up to the middle just a little bit, but that's fine. Again, we didn't need to see them coming up all the way to the rail. But he realized he did need to move a little bit to help with that flatten, and we did get enough trim before we ended up going through the jibe. We actually did trim in a bit more, and so that just helped even more. It let us get a little more roll, a little more power out of the flatten. So all in all, pretty good deal. Just want to make sure we watch the exit angle, as we are right now. We're still a bit higher than Glennis and Julia. And here is time we look like we're going to watch Glennis and Julia. So coming down, I think we've got a decent amount of trim. And actually, if we back up, I kind of think we want more boom vang on. We can look, we've accidentally got the perfect angle on the boom. We're looking straight down the boom. If there were a light shining out of it, it'd be in my face right now. And we can see here's the angle of the bottom of the main, but up at the top, we're spilling way open. And if we were to look at it on, if we were to look at wing on wing, we'd have the same deal. The top is spilled open, and so it's just like we talked about with the jib a minute ago. When we were talking down and out, the down is to keep the top of the sail closed so it can't spill open. Here, the boom vang is what does that for us. So Glennis and Julia actually want some more boom vang on. That way the top of their sail isn't going to spill open. It's going to keep the power in for us. But anyway, back to the jibe. Coming down, she's got that main sheet going on. Looks like she was holding it with the tiller hand, so that was good. And then we jibed over, and I think again, just like the transitions we were talking through, probably do want to work on our roll. But let's watch this a bit. I'll watch this once more. So she does have, we can see there, she dropped the forward line and was able to grab right to the main sheet out of her tiller hand. Swinging that main over, so we've got all the motions we've got fairly smooth. There's kind of a little hang up on the switch there, the main sheet and tiller switch. But in general, all the motions are smooth. They're happening when they need to. So we just need to work on when that main comes over, that jib comes over, get the sails working on that new side, let the boat roll, and then we'll move over to the high side and flatten the boat. But definitely I would say the getting some roll and flattening through that jibe is what we can work on going forward. Here's Taya and Gracie. Cool, we're holding pinky first on the main sheet line there, and then she had the main sheet in her tiller hand. She was able to drop right to it. Going through the jibe there. Not the best camera work, almost went out of frame. But as we come down, I think Gracie might have been just the tiniest bit early on that jib. It looked like we got one little pull of it not quite wanting to come through, and then it snapped over. So definitely want to make sure we wait until we see it want to come over to the new side, fall in toward the mast. That's when we go, and then that's the cue for Taya to bring the main. And probably can do with a little bit less tiller. We see the tiller here, it's actually almost to the rail, so we've turned a bit. If we had been able to roll the boat into the jibe, get some windward heel going on, that would have helped us use a little bit less tiller there, and then also would have allowed us to flatten a little bit more out of the jibe as well. We can almost